What's going on, guys? It's Shane. So we're here. It's Saturday. We're just enjoying the level 1 class. I'm instructing here with the WDCR group. We got a modified course of last week. We just had some elements, but for the most part it's been changed. We actually have a lot of students here. We have 2 rows of 12, so the students are coming back from lunch right now. I'm just going to go ahead and take some quick runs just to kind of feel it out. And actually it's dry, right? And it's 80 degrees out here, 89 degrees, so it's a nice day. We'll see how the tires hold up, but yeah, just want to take about 5-10 minutes and just take some runs. All right, catch you guys. Finished up the level 1 class. Everybody's all nice and gone out here. So right now the Miata Brahs is just doing some runs, and we're gonna just feel out each other's cars. Pause. So we got Tom Layton. He just took 2 runs. He's just gonna check out it on his car, and with the heat going on here, we can't necessarily take back-to-back runs. We actually have to let the tires cool, because it's about 90 degrees ambient air, just over 90 degrees, so that means tarmac is pretty darn hot. So he's just going to check some settings on his car real quick, and he's getting acclimated with the course. So when he rolls down, we'll go ahead and go over some stuff and switch cars. So we'll catch you guys in a minute. Shane's run, second run in Tommy's car. guys, so we're here. The Miata Bros are together. You got Tommy Layton, we got the young stud, Julian Garfield, and myself. So hopefully we can catch each other right here. There's a wide lens. So what we just did multiple runs in both cars. All three of us, including Lin and Garfield, also the older Garfield, the old man, was able to jump into the car also and get a feel. So just kind of going around. Tommy, obviously you're used to your car. In comparison from your car to mine, what do you think?
I think my car is a little less pushy on corner entry and on corner exit. It's a little more predictable, and it doesn't rotate on power as well as Shane's car does. I'm going to try a different rear bar setting to deal with that, but otherwise I think it's just more predictable, so that lends it to being faster for basically everybody who's driven it today.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the predictability factor with Tommy's car for sure. I feel for me though, I actually kind of disagree with you as far as the way it kind of pushed, because I actually had more issues I think pushing with your car than I did with Shane's. Maybe, I don't know, however these cars are set up right now, Shane's car, I was definitely going into the corners a little harder, and I'm even getting a little, like, to the point where I'm feeling a little vibration in the wheel from understeer when the way I'm going in with yours, and I was pretty much trying to do the same thing in both cars, what I found interesting. Also, I think on corner exit, whether it's the Geiken or whatever that is for corner exit, I definitely thought I could get on the power a little sooner with Shane's car as well. But ultimately, I ran a slightly faster time in your car, just because I think overall it's way more predictable. Like you said, it's a little softer, a lot more forgiving. I think Shane's car definitely has the speed, but consistency is going to be a little more difficult for Shane's car.
Yeah. So as far as my take on it, as Julian just said, Tommy's car just feels just more forgiving. Everything around it. As far as the understeer, which is weird, is that he's getting it more, but I'm not getting as much understeer as both Garfields are saying. I felt as though I was getting more understeer in my car. Maybe that just has to do with the overdriving, versus in Tommy's car, it just felt a lot more progressive. The turning felt a little bit better. The on throttle was nice and progressive as far as kicking out the rear whenever you wanted it. Versus in mine, it bodes well for the lift oversteer, more so than the on throttle oversteer.
And I think it might be the style, just like you were saying though. I think it's the style that maybe him and I both use when we're driving that might differ from you guys, in the sense of, I think I love the lift throttle oversteer. I use that to the fullest, planning that ahead of time, and I think Shane's car did that a lot better than Tommy's did. That's what I found. So when I would get off the gas, rotating far more instantly, which is why I thought this car might have pushed more. It didn't respond as quickly as your car did.
Gotcha. And as far as the settings of the car, I'll put that down below as we're talking here. But that's one of the things that, although you can set up a car very similarly, putting on a diff will change the entire characteristics of it. I'm sure if I change a diff on this, that the characteristics of it is going to be more similar to Tommy's. I'm going to see how this fares out for right now and stick with the OS Geiken. But if it seems like I have to fight it as much as I am right now, I may end up taking it out if I can't adapt to the driving style, because it isn't just a setup. It seems it also has to do with the driving style.
I would definitely agree that there's a driving style difference needed for the Geiken in your car versus the torsion style in Tommy's. Yeah, it would just be interesting, because it took maybe I would say by the end of my second run, I had felt confident, and that's why I wanted to do the third in your car more so. His car, right away, it took me probably half a run, and I was pretty confident with it. I had already driven one MX-5, I guess, but on the other hand, just pushing it 10/10ths, Tommy's car is definitely much safer, and for competition style events, I mean, testing and tuning, you might ultimately be able to get a quicker time out of your car, but for when you've only got 4 shots at it, or in this case we did 3 in each car, I definitely think Tommy's car would be a safer bet, and that's why the times reflected as they did.
So as far as time-wise, we can recap on that. So when Julian took the 3 runs in both cars, he ran mine first, got down to
I did a 52.8 first run, so I was feeling it out a little more. Then second run I dropped to a 52.1 and then a 52.0. Yeah. Tommy's car first run 52.1 I think, and then a 51.8 and a 51.9. questionable whether the tires might have been getting a little greasy by that third run. I definitely feel like I didn't. My third run, I made some mistakes, and I still put down that time, which was kind of surprising. I felt the same way in your car too, though. I feel like there's a little more time that I left in each of them after those 3 runs, but ultimately got down to the times quicker in Tommy's car than I did yours, at least one run quicker.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can kind of pick your poison at this point. I mean, we both have the same shocks, slightly different as far as valving and spring rates in the front. Again, Tommy has the bigger front bar. You have now the Hotchkiss front bar set to what setting?
Full stiff.
Full stiff. So, wow, full stiff, and it felt really good. Wow, interesting. And so I have that bar on order. It just isn't on right now. I have the Flying Miata, which is a little bit thinner than the Hotchkiss. And I wasn't even thinking of going Hotchkiss full stiff. I was going to go middle. So I'm going to be like Tommy Boy and get it all stiff for you guys. So we'll see how that fares, if it's going to understeer more or if it's just going to make the car a little bit more balanced. But Tommy's car actually seems to soak up the bumps a little bit better, although we have a similar setup also, which was definitely nice, because putting on the power and also going through the bumpy transitions, it just seemed a little bit more stable. It may also do something with the diff, I'm not sure, but your car, you felt you could floor it, and even with your angle, yours just felt a lot more stable versus yeah. So something's up on that. Either I'm not putting the power down well, or he's just putting down the power that much better, which is what it seems like at the moment. And the times doesn't lie. He took 3 runs. Yeah, let's give a variable of 0.2, so they're in the same ballpark, but jumping in Tommy's car, that setup was just a lot easier to drive off the brake. I've concurred that. Lin has concurred that, and along with Julian Garfield. So the conclusion right now is that Miata Brah, the original Miata Brah, the copycat Miata Brah, is still behind. I still got to do some settings then, and also as far as driving styles, I got to try and cater myself to that, because as far as my times, I was about 0.5 off of Julian in my car. So I also got to get used to that flick and throw it in and everything. But again, the easier car to drive was Copperhead. So we're going to end that today, guys. Thanks for joining us. Tom, Layton, Julian Garfield. You got the other crew up there. So catch you guys next time. Hope you guys like the review. Take care.